Hey everybody, it's Brad from the Big Family Homestead, and today, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what, we've got a special treat. We have got Aaron from thebarngeek.com with us, and I'm excited about this. How are you doing today, Aaron?
I'm doing great, Brad. How are you?
Oh, sir, I'm finer than a frog's hair. And so the Barn Geek, we got to start right there. How in the
Yeah.
world did you get dubbed the Barn Geek?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but I've always loved barns. I grew up on a farm uh, in central Michigan, and the um, my uh, one of my jobs as a farm boy was stacking hay up to the top of these old barns, and we used a lot of the old ones to store our hay in. And I just always loved the old beams and the great majestic cathedrals of the old barns. And so I just kind of fell in love with them. And later on in life, I started to reclaim the old wood and recycle it. And I was always looking out for a barn. Every time we drove down the road, my wife and I would always, my head would keep with the barn as we're passing
Yeah.
it if it was an interesting barn. And one day I did that. There was one stretch of road that there was like two or three I was looking at, and I looked back over to my wife, and she was kind of had this funny look on her face, and she said, "You're such a barn geek." And so after that, it kind of stuck.
That's pretty awesome. I love looking at those old barns, the peg barns, and just the workmanship that is in those things that they're standing so many years.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me. But now let me ask this: what kind of barns? Because you design barns, you build barns, you do barn plans, you do chicken coop plans, you do a lot of stuff. But what kind of barns do you design?
Well, they're traditional style barns that are based on the old ones. The Except where we use a few modern twists and techniques that the modern technology has given us the ability to do that they didn't have back 150 years ago when they first built these barns. But the but they're in a traditional sense. All the old barns that I love so much, I use those for inspiration and design. Full size rough cut timber frame barns, so that they're kind of a reflection of the old barns of the past.
Wow, it's our dream here at the Big Family Homestead to one day have one of your barns built. But now, take me through the process because I don't know what the benefits are of using a barn plan. I mean, I wouldn't know how to start. I would assume you to contact an architect, but no, that's not how this goes, is it?
Well, you could do it that way, but most architects are trained to design a more conventional type barn. So you might get like a pole barn or a stick built barn. But really, the traditional timber frame barn has been around for thousands of years. And there are some architects that specialize in that, but it's very hard to find, and usually the plans are very expensive. So, what I did was I kind of simplified the process, and I was able to over the last few years, after I've had several clients requesting barns, I've collected up several barn plans that were kind of my favorites, and made those available in the library so that they can be duplicated multiple times, and then people can take those plans and get local material from sawmills or rough cut material, and then build their own barn with some simple techniques that we show in the barn plans library in some of the videos that we have available there.
Very cool. So, why not just use regular old modern construction methods as your only sole, means to build a barn? I mean, it seems to me like you would want to use all the benefits of modern age, but you say that it's some of this needs to be done old school.
Yeah, sure. I mean, depends on your goals. The pole barns are built. They're not designed exactly to be. They're not designed exactly to be something that lasts a long time. Where 150 years ago, 100 years ago, when they built a barn, they were thinking long term. They wanted the structure to last. Fast forward to modern times, you get past World War II, and you started to get where to the point where lumber dimensions started to get smaller, and some of the production. It was more of a focus on production than it was in longevity. So you got kind of like a lot of things these days are built more to be kind of a throwaway thing. It's the same way with the modern conventional construction. There are timber frames in Europe that have been standing for 1,000 years or more. So these are designed to be long lasting. And another thing is that these modern barns, or the modern barns, aren't exactly designed to be comfortable for a animal to live in. When the old timers designed their barns, they designed them with the animals' welfare in mind. They wanted their animals to be healthy and happy. They wanted them to be cool in the summer and warm in the winter. So they designed them tall so that the air could flow in through the bottom and then flow up through cupolas and ventilation and that type of thing. And that airflow keeps the animals comfortable and makes them happier. So
yeah. So well, say I'm looking into getting a barn. How does the process start?
Well, the first thing you need if you're going to build a barn like this is a good plan to start with, and we can help you out with that. But really, you need to look into what the costs might be, as far as from the foundation all the way to final completion of the project. That's the first thing to look at. Make sure that you can afford to do the whole process, because you don't want to get started and then not be able to finish your project. And we'll help you out in the Barn Plans Library to figure out what you need to do to go from start to finish. And after you get your set of plans, what you can do at that point is go to the permit office if you need to get a permit. I know some places in the country you can build a barn without getting a permit as long as it's for agricultural use, but then a lot of places in the country you do. So going to get a permit and finding out whether you need a permit and finding out how much that permit's going to cost is the next step. And then after that, you can take the plans that you get in the library will have a materials list, and you'll want to take that materials list to a local sawmill and have them get you a quote on what the rough cut lumber is going to cost. And then we help you. I know sometimes sawmills are kind of hard to find. So we'll help you. There's a 20-minute video in the members area that shows you how to find some of the harder to find, like the Amish sawmills and some of the small guys with portable sawmills. Some guys will come right out to your own property and saw your logs on site, which would be a huge benefit. Or if you're really extreme DIYer, you could get a small portable sawmill yourself and saw your own timber. That is available for you to do with these plans. You couldn't do that with a regular pole barn because you'd have to put the poles in the ground, so you'd have to get treated poles. But with our plans, you can take a log from your property. You can take logs and turn them into lumber and build your barn if you want to go that extreme DIY. So
That sounds pretty hardcore. I'm basically a computer nerd. I don't think that would be the good start for me. But
right.
well, tell me about, you're mentioning your library, and I know you have lots and lots of plans. But first of all, well, let me ask you this. What would come in your library of stuff that you've got, and how would, a regular person like me get a hold of those plans?
Okay. Um, well, we have a link on our website, and I'm sure there'll be a link in the description that where you can go and purchase the library, and you'll get access to all the plans. Right now, the library is $97, and it's a digital download. So what you'll do is you'll go to the link, you purchase the library, and you'll get all of my entire library of plans, and you'll get video tutorials that I mentioned before. We talk about how to construct the barn and how to source the lumber, sourcing materials, and we also have email support so that you can contact me if you have any questions. You can contact me or the crew and find out how to do certain things if you get stuck. Also, we have materials links, like I mentioned before, in the library, so you can take each one of the barns has a materials list. So you can take that to a sawmill and know exactly how much that lumber is going to cost. Also, we have a Facebook group called Barn Geeks. Once you become a member, you can join that group, and there are other members in there that have some are in the process of building a barn, and others have already built a barn. And if you post a question in there, a lot of times you'll get an answer pretty quickly. And a lot of these guys have experience, have multiple different experiences, so they can come at any issue that you might have with different perspectives. So there's that available to you. And like I said, anytime you need help, we're just an email away, and we can help you out with that. So, but there's one more thing I wanted to mention. Just for Big Family Homestead viewers, we have a special deal. Now, it's not the entire library, but I picked out one barn plan that is, I think, perfect for a small homesteader. So if you have an acre or 2 or 5 or even 10 or even more, this barn would work very well for if you have a couple goats, maybe some chickens, goats that you want to milk, and maybe a cow, and you want to store some hay, and maybe you want to put your tractor inside, that type of thing. This one plan should do a lot of that work for you. The barn is 24 feet wide by 30 feet long.
Nice.
It has a 14-foot wide gable, and then a kind of a 10-foot wide wing off the side to make it a total of 24 feet wide, and then 30 feet long. And then and it has a full loft, so you can use the loft to store. Excuse me. Then it has a full loft. You can use the loft to store hay, and put you could build a workshop in there. It's got it's a very versatile space, and because it has kind of that 2-level system going on, if you have a small lot or even a half an acre land, you could get that and maximize your space because you have that full loft above the regular space to work with.
So that loft, could it be used in theory, hypothetically, to keep a mother-in-law up there?
Yeah, hypothetically, if you got permission to do that, I know a lot of places don't do that.
I'm just joshing. But now you have made this plan a special deal pricing for the Big Family Homestead crowd. Is that not correct, sir?
That is correct for this one plan, and I don't have. This is the only plan, the only time I have one plan available for purchase individually, and it is only available for the viewers of the Big Family Homestead channel, and that deal is $7 for that
What?
plan.
Seven
Yeah,
bucks, man. These things go for thousands of dollars. What are you, nuts?
yeah. Well, I want to give back to this community because I really believe in the community that you're building, Brad, and I think that homesteaders need something that is that they can use to kind of be independent. You know,
Amen.
if you can build this barn with your own timber or with local timber, then you're not beholden to, the big box store lumber yards. You don't have to depend on, a contractor if you don't want to. You can, if you got the skills, you can build this yourself.
Well, not
And
to
it's
mention you've got all those video tutorials in there.
right. Yep. And the video tutorials are in the library. Unfortunately, I can't release those for the plans. So it is just a one set of plans. It kind of gives you a taste of what's inside the membership area. But we do have some of the videos available on YouTube for free.
Wow.
So if you wanted to, head over to my channel on YouTube, I've got some videos on there that kind of explain how the process goes. So and many have. Before we put the library together, many have taken just one set of plans and built the barn just from the plans and from the videos, the free videos that are on our channel. So it is possible, but having the library, gives you that extra layer of support, gives you some more choices. But like I said, the one plan is $7.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How many plans are in your library?
Right now, I think there's 20. Last time I updated the page, there was 19. I added another one, and I've got 5 or 6 more I'll be adding in the next few months. And then I'm just going to continue to add to it as time goes by, as I do more projects and have more time to put them in. I'll be doing them probably one every month and a half, 2 months or so. Probably 6 to 10 a year. I'll be putting into the library.
That is so awesome. And let me tell you, people who are viewing this right now, if you've not seen his website, if you've not seen the barns that he's built, these things are amazing and beautiful. My wife was on the site for all of 30 seconds before she says, I want to live in that one. She picked it out, and they're gorgeous. They're just amazingly well-built, beautiful structures. And if you haven't seen them, you need to go see them. And if you don't know, $7 for a plan, an architectural plan with tutorials, that's unheard of. I mean, I wouldn't even consider trying to build it on my own without buying some plans. And so if you're interested or in the market, look, this is the place to go. I mean, besides, Aaron looks like that cool dude from Braveheart, which I'm about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like everybody else. I'm a homesteader, been a homesteader all my life. Of course, we didn't call it homesteading back then. We just called it living.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to. I like the fact that more people are getting into homesteading, and I kind of want to help move people in that direction.
Amen. So. Well, folks, there will be links in the description below, not only to the sweet deal on the plans, but also to Aaron's YouTube channel, so you can check that out. And you'll be hearing more from us, because we're working together, and like he said, we want to get more people informed and get more people self-reliant. And I just am grateful that you've taken your time to come and talk with us about this and let us in on such a sweet deal. So we're very grateful. Thank you.
Well, thank you for what you do with the channel, and I hope more people are able to live self-reliantly through your channel and through the products that we offer.
Amen, brother. So don't forget, barngeek.com. That's the regular website, but if you want to look for the deal, that's a separate link, and it's down below. So Have a great day. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.